Hello out there again, YouTube. John back again. Well, it's been a last good couple weeks since you saw my last video. Got a bunch of new stuff in the mail. Got a bunch of Laserdiscs gonna be showing you guys. Luis Munoz, he hooked it up again. Got a ton of stuff from him. Finally got my Kevin Cobos package in. You're gonna see that. And I got a bunch of Blu-ray DVD pickups from Half Price Books, pawn shops, Best Buy, you name it, I got it. So let's get it started. First thing I got, we're gonna do the box sets first. I got from Luis Munoz. Ended up getting Schindler's List Special Edition. And you know, the one thing about this is probably one of my top 10 favorite movies. I love Schindler's List. I've always loved Schindler's List. This set, you know, it's still the same contents as the regular Laserdisc that came out, but this one actually has the book and soundtrack for it. Really no extra bonus material, but I wanted the book and soundtrack. So, alright. Got this one for my wife. Got the Sound of Music Special Edition. This actually is complete. Has the CD, has the lobby cards, all that cool stuff. Again, for my wife, not a big Sound of Music fan. So, next up, got the Martian Chronicles. Never actually seen this one, but I know the DVD fetches some pretty high prices, so I figured I'd go for the Laserdisc, just because. Alright, next one up, we got Palmetto. Late release, never seen it, but I'm a big Woody Harrelson fan, so I figured I'd give it a shot. Alright, next one up. Serial Mom, one of my favorite John Waters films, possibly one of my favorite Kathleen Turner films. Always loved this movie. Very black comedy, funny story. I love everything about that film. I want to get it on DVD, but I figured I'd had to get it on Laserdisc first. Alright, next one up, we got a Wim Wenders flick, Wings of Desire. Never actually seen this one, but I know it's based off of City of Angels, and that's a good movie, so had to pick that up. Now we're coming across one of my favorite films of the 90s. Glad to have this one on Laserdisc. Picked up Dark City. This one I've been tracking down for quite some time. Actually glad I got this one. I don't want to talk too much about the movie, but it's a phenomenal film. If none of you have ever seen it, don't even try to waste your time on Laserdisc or anything else. Just track down the Blu-ray or the DVD, pick it up. Great freaking movie. Alright, another one. I've been meaning to catch this one. Got 3 O'Clock High. One of your typical 80s, you know, high school flicks, but been wanting to see it for a long time. You know, the DVD's not too hard to find, but just been wanting to pick it up, and Luis had it on Laserdisc for a good price, so I wasn't going to pass that up. Now this one, I was glad he had this one. 1984. This is the first pressing. I know that there was a second pressing. I think it had a little bit of a remastered picture. I'm not 100% sure. Been wanting to see this movie for a while. Never got a chance to. The DVD is like very hard to find. It's very expensive. So the Laserdisc is expensive too, because the Laserdisc has the original audio, and I know the DVD has compromised audio, different score. So a lot of people like to track down the Laserdisc to get the original score. So glad I have that. Now we got a stupid movie from the 90s, but I actually saw this in theaters for the brief amount of time it came out, Joe's Apartment. You know, a lot of people hated this movie. I, for one, enjoyed the heck out of it. I thought it was a funny, funny movie. You know, glad to have this one on Laserdisc because this is the only way you can see this in widescreen. The DVD is actually full frame. I don't know if it was shot open matte, flat ratio, or anything like that, but, you know, just to get it in widescreen, happy to have it. Next up, we got one from the 90s, Skeeter. Been wanting to see this movie. I know the DVD is next to impossible to track down. It was only ever released in a triple pack. Got to get some of these discs up here, guys. Sorry about that. Ended up dropping some. But anyway, been wanting to see Skeeter for quite some time, but like I said, it was released in a triple feature pack along with Extro and Extro 2, and I know that's damn near impossible to find, so wanted to get Skeeter. Very glad to have that. Finally get to watch it. Next up, Of Mice and Men, Gary Sinise, John Malkovich. Did like this film the first time I saw it. I had to read the book my sophomore year of high school. Actually loved the book. The movie was really good too. DVD, another thing. DVD's impossible to find. It's not really impossible to find, just the prices are a little high. Got the Laserdisc on the cheap, so I figure I'm happy there. Next up, one of the few Kevin Costner films I've never seen, No Way Out. Can't talk too much about it, but again, price was right, had to pick it up. Another one, never seen it. Gothic. I just know that this is like a throwback to the Frankenstein story. At least I think it is. I'm not 100% sure. But again, a couple bucks. Not going to complain. Another really good one that hasn't officially... Well, this one has been released on DVD. The Reflecting Skin. This is actually a really good movie. I caught this... I have the Echo Bridge DVD. Now, the thing about that is the Echo Bridge DVD uses this transfer for the Laserdisc. It doesn't actually use a transfer from the negative. So the Laserdisc, by contrast, looks better. It was released, I think, overseas. It was released in, I want to say Australia, but I heard the Blu-ray wasn't that great. I heard it's getting another re-release in England, but I don't know anything about that yet. I don't even know if it's region locked or not. So, but I figured for a couple bucks, I'll pick up the Reflecting Skin. So, another one, got a Nick of Time. One of the few Johnny Depp movies I've never seen, but it's done by John Badham. He's a great director. You know, Christopher Walken's in it, Johnny Depp. Figure for a couple bucks, why not? Now we got another one of my favorite kids' movies, Brave Little Toaster. I actually saw this one when I was a kid. The thing about this film is I recently revisited it maybe about a year ago. I wanted my son to watch it, and I did not know how dark this movie was. I mean, the things when you're a kid, you're very oblivious to it, but when you grow up, you get a little older, you just notice how dark things are. Yeah, but that aside, it's still a good movie. I wish, it would come out on Blu-ray because the DVD uses a Laserdisc transfer. The DVD doesn't look all that great. The Laserdisc looks slightly better than the DVD, but still, this is one of them films that needs to come out on Blu-ray just so it can be properly restored and remastered. So we got next one up, we got another good 80s classic here. We got Splash. Funny movie. Made Tom Hanks a household name. John Candy gives a great performance in this too. Daryl Hannah further got her career going. Funny movie also. Ron Howard, got to give it up for him. Gave Ron Howard a career jump with this one. I think right after this he did Cocoon. So great movie for Splash. Glad to have that one on Laserdisc. Wish that one would come out on Blu-ray, but oh well. Next one up, Universal Horror, Werewolf of London. Never seen it, but again, Universal Horror, gotta buy it. All right, we got Double Indemnity. Never actually seen this one, but a lot of people tell me good things about this film, so I figured I'd give it a shot for a couple bucks. Next one, this is an underrated sequel. Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. I like this one. Now, Honey, I Shrunk the Kid's better, but I like Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. Has some good special effects. Rick Moranis is in it. He gives it his best that he can do. Still a good movie, so a couple bucks, why not? All right, next one up. Never seen this one, Switchback. Heard it was good. I know it's a late release, semi-late release, so I figured I'd pick it up just because. And we got another one here, Invader. Never seen it, but I'm going to try to pronounce this correctly. Menachem Golan from Canon Films. This was from 21st Century Films. So I try to watch anything from Canon or the Side Shoot Company. So for a couple bucks, why not? I talked about Airport in my last video. Said I was going to get Airport 75. Got that one, came in. Never seen it, but again, a couple bucks. Not going to complain. Another disaster flick, Roller Coaster. Never seen it. But a couple bucks, why not? Here we got one of the all-time classic monster flicks. Got The Mummy. Boris Karloff got, this helped him get out of the Frankenstein thing. I don't want to say he was typecasted because of this, but, because of the Frankenstein film, he got a lot of good, horror movie roles. As a matter of fact, we got another Boris Karloff film. I'm just going to jump ahead on my stack. I ended up getting The Invisible Ray. I've never seen this one either, but, it has Karloff and Lugosi, so I figure I'm going to probably enjoy that. All right, next one up, we got Critical Care. Never seen this one, but I like Sidney Lumet as a director, so figured I'd give that one a shot. All right, now this one I got for my son. Got the Aardman Animation Collection. Now, I love Aardman, so to see these are some short films that I've never seen. I've mostly seen the Wallace and Gromit, Shaun the Sheep, and then also Chicken Run, Flushed Away. So I figured this is some good early Aardman stuff, so I wanted to check that out, and I know my son was happy to get that. And the last thing out of the Luis Munoz pile, another good underrated Stallone film, Daylight. This would be the DTS edition. I actually don't have the regular edition. Was very fortunate to catch this one in theaters back in '96. Dad took me to see it. Thought it was a great movie. The critics hated it, but I always thought it was a great film. Nice little, modern day disaster epic. So it was a pretty good movie. So if none of you have seen it, check it out. It's worth your time. All right. So next couple things we got. Ended up getting a couple discs from a guy off of Facebook. I can't remember his name, but he's a good dude. He ended up getting these to me in really good shape. He shipped them very quickly. So we're going to just do these in order. I'm not going to talk about each one. So we got Children of the Corn. This is the second pressing, has the digital audio on there. We have Children of the Corn 2, Final Sacrifice. Also have Children of the Corn 3, Urban Harvest. And lastly, the last one that was ever released on Laserdisc in this case, Children of the Corn 4, The Gathering. You know, I like all the Children of the Corn movies. You know, let's just not say all of them. I like, you know, a good majority of them. Some of them are kind of dumb, but, you know, the first 4 are actually pretty good. Now, the second one, you know, has yet to actually come out on Blu-ray. Not yet. You know, actually, I stand corrected. Just yesterday, a company from Britain called 88 Films just announced that they received the rights to the first 3 Children of the Corn films, and they're going to release them on Blu-ray over in Britain. And hopefully, to buck the trend, they don't region lock it. Hopefully it's a region-free release, and so everybody can get to see it. Because, you know, Children of the Corn 2 is a very good sequel. I've always liked that film. I actually had it on VHS. You know, with the rights issues and all the other BS, there has never been a proper release of that movie on home video, save for the Laserdisc, because it did come out on DVD, but the DVD was taken from the Laserdisc transfer. So, again, you know, it's not that great. Now, I also have, and it's in this room, I'm not going to pick it up, I have a British import of the Children of the Corn trilogy on British DVD. Like I said, it's Region 2 locked. Now, that one, it has the option of doing widescreen or full frame, so apparently the movie was shot in a flat ratio. You can, you know, it works either way. But I would love to see this film done with a new scan. I would love to see, you know, the original intended aspect ratio. You know, maybe I would like to see some, you know, some commentary, something involved. So I hope when 88 Films gets their hands on this thing, I hope when they release it in the coming months that they do a very good job. I just wish something could be done here in the States, and I wish somebody would release it properly. So anyway, other than that, glad to have the Children of the Corn films on Laserdisc. So, all right, next one up. I picked this one up off an eBay seller, The Brain. Now, I've been wanting to see this for quite a while. You know, I was a little disappointed, and it wasn't as crazy as I hoped it would be. You know, it was still pretty good, but let me tell you guys something about, it's more or less the story about the disc is the funnier part. The eBay seller listed it as in excellent condition, had, you know, they said it was, oh, the disc was flawless. Okay, when I received this thing in the mail, it was packed properly. Kudos for that. This thing had food stains on the edge. I kid you not, food stains. The disc is actually scratched, not too bad on both sides, and it doesn't hinder playback in any way. But the disc is also slightly warped. I popped it in 2 of my players, you know, and it's watchable, but you can just see the wavy crosstalk coming through the screen where the warp hits. So, you know, I have to shove it in my rack for about, you know, 4 or 5 weeks, and hopefully the warp will decrease itself. But luckily the seller, he was really cool about it, and he actually gave me a refund. You know, I didn't even ask for a refund. I just brought it to his attention of what he sold me, and he felt bad about it, so he compensated me for it. So I got a free disc, but, you know, wish people would actually pay attention to some of the stuff they sell sometimes. It's kind of unnerving. So anyway, next one up. Now, these are my lone half-price books finds from the last couple of weeks, because they've been pretty dry as of late. We got Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. A lot of people do not like Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, save, you know, because of the end. You know, the last half, I should say. I like this movie as a whole. I actually, up until I saw Fury Road, Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome was my favorite one out of all of them. You know, mainly it's a biased opinion because I was a kid when I saw it. I mean, I still like it. I will watch Thunderdome more than I will the other films, but Fury Road has taken first place in this because if none of you saw Fury Road, that was a phenomenal motion picture experience, and I'm glad I got a chance to see it in theaters. Coming out on Blu-ray, I think, in 2 weeks, so next video you see, I will have Fury Road in hand. So, lastly, from the half-price book stash, picked up Evita. Now, I've never seen this, but you know what? It's Criterion. I know it's a late release, and from what I understand, it's pretty rare. So, I figure if I'm going to watch Evita for the first time, might as well watch it on Laserdisc. So, alright. Last of the Laserdisc. Now, a lot of you guys on the Lasers Forever page got to see my Kevin Cobos package, but some of you may not be on the Lasers Forever page. You may just watch these videos. So this was the contents of my Kevin Cobos, a.k.a. Good Squid package that I got. So first one up, we got Eraser. I actually enjoy the heck out of this movie. Chuck Russell, he's a very good underrated director. It was a very, very good job on this disc. Now, the main reason I picked up Eraser is everybody here knows that Eraser is one of the most notoriously rotted Laserdiscs that was ever released in the United States, thanks to the DADC pressing. I think it's every 8 out of 10 copies have some form of rot or unwatchable. People have said, oh, I have an unrotted copy, but I don't want to part with it. So I figured, you know what, if I'm going to own this thing on Laserdisc, I'm getting it from Japan. Also, so I can get the AC3 track, because the AC3 track is non-existent on the US Laserdisc due to the fact that Warner didn't want to license it from Dolby at the time, and they didn't want to pay for it. So, anyway. All right, next up, I'm just going to do all three of these in a row. We got Star Wars Special Collection Episode 4. Have Empire Strikes Back Special Collection. And lastly, Return of the Jedi Special Collection. Now, big Star Wars fan. Everybody who's seen me on the post there is over on Lasers Forever knows I'm a big Star Wars person. But these releases I've been wanting to get for a little while. You know, I heard that these have the absolute best video, because these were the 91 Laserdiscs, I think, the original widescreen versions that used the theatrical poster art, used these transfers, but there was some extra filtering, some extra edge enhancement, noise reduction. So these transfers are the best way to see the original trilogy as it was meant to be seen, because the definitive collection, also they use newer scans, but the same thing, edge enhancement, digital noise reduction. So if you want to see it like the cleanest, most purest way ever on Laserdisc, you have to get the special collection releases from '87. So, and lastly, one of my favorite franchises, Back to the Future trilogy. Been wanting to get this one for a while. I like the transfers on these better than I do the domestic ones. They look a lot cleaner. So, but Back to the Future, one of my favorite trilogies of all time. 30th anniversary coming up in 2 months. Glad that's coming. So, all right, now we're going to do some Blu-ray pickups and some DVD pickups. Mainly 2 DVDs, all Blu-ray. So, ended up getting these couple things from a Horror BD and DVD collector over on one of my other pages I'm part of. So I got Madman Special Edition. Just got a chance to watch that. Pretty good slasher film. Nice little Friday the 13th ripoff, but still a good movie. Very good horror effects. Good story. I actually enjoyed where it went, so I was glad I blind bought that, so I picked it up for a good price. So next up, Sleepaway Camp 2. Pretty good movie. I like the first one the most. Got to compliment it nicely with Sleepaway Camp Part 3. Pretty good movie as well. You know, they don't hold a candle to the first one, but they're on their own. They're pretty fun. They're campy. They're funny. They got, you know, pretty good splatter effects. Funny stories. Why not? Now, this next one I picked up, this isn't exactly horror, but I've been wanting to see these for quite a long time. I got The Decline of Western Civilization, Volumes 1, 2, and 3. You know, I just watched Volume 2 because that was the one I've been wanting to see the longest. Glad I picked that one up on Blu-ray. You know, the thing with that is, the first volume was only ever released on Laserdisc and VHS. Then the second volume only ever came out on VHS. Now, regarding the third volume, I couldn't tell you. But these were films I've always been wanting to see, and none of the video stores around me ever had any copies of them. So an opportunity presented itself to pick it up for a really good price. So finally got it. I just watched Part 2 first. I enjoyed Part 2. I'm going to watch Parts 1 and 3 eventually, but glad to have that one. All right. Now, next one's coming up. This is all Pawn Shop. This is all stuff I picked up from Pawn Shop. I actually got this one today. Got Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1. Haven't got a chance to watch that one yet, but that one only cost me $5, so for the price, can't complain. 2001: A Space Odyssey. Never actually owned this on Blu-ray before, but picked it up for $4. Finally figured it was about time. Next one. Unforgiven. Another $4 pickup. Really good Western. One of my all-time favorite Westerns. Next to, I want to say Tombstone and the True Grit remake. So this is a very good film. Never seen it. Check it out. Went to a pawn shop out in Indiana last week. Picked up a brand new sealed copy of Homefront. $5. A lot of people didn't like this movie. I liked it. Just for the sheer fact that Sylvester Stallone wrote the screenplay and it has his stuff all over it. So that's a good movie for what it is. You take it for what it is. Next one up, we got Neighbors. I didn't think I was going to enjoy this as much as I did, but I actually laughed myself stupid. You know, Zac Efron, say what you will about him. Yeah, he's a pretty boy, but this movie actually puts a new thing on his career. You know, now he's not going to be known as the pretty boy who can't act. He actually did a really good job in Neighbors, so I was very impressed with it. So, next one up, we got California. Never seen it, but again, $5 pickup at the pawn shop. Got to grow my collection, why not? We got another one of my favorite films from Darren Aronofsky. Got Requiem for a Dream. Always enjoyed this film. You know, Jared Leto gives a great performance. Jennifer Connelly does very good in this. Even Marlon Wayans. I'm not too fond of the Wayans brothers comedy, but as him being just an actor in this, he does a very good job. Love the story. Very brutal realism to it. It was a great film. You know, glad it came out on Blu-ray for that simple fact, and I'm glad I got it, so there we go. Next one up, pick this one up, The Judge. Never seen it, but brand new, $5. Why not? Still going for about $20 on Best Buy or whatever right now. All right, now we got some half-price books pickups. Ended up getting Source Code, $3 pickup. Really enjoyed this movie. Duncan Jones, great director. Moon was a great film. This was an even better film. Glad I picked that one up. I had it once, but sold it off a while back, but I've been wanting to get it back again just so I could watch it. Now, another underrated film that I really like, Speed Racer. This movie gets absolutely no love from a lot of people. I'm not even a big Speed Racer cartoon fan. I never liked it. But when I found out that the Wachowskis were doing this movie, I figured, what the hell, I'll give it a shot. And I actually enjoyed the heck out of it. You know, so I'm glad to pick that one up for $3. I had it. I bought it when it came out. You know, again, was one of those things you just got rid of over time because you never watched it again. Then when I found it for $3, I figured, you know what? I'm going to check it out again because I haven't seen it in a while. So now we're coming up on one I've never actually seen. I got The Hunt for Red October. Picked that one up for $3, so why not? Maybe I'll like it, maybe I won't. All right. Now, if you guys saw me talking in my last video, I actually got this next thing, got this in the mail today. My last video, I talked about the movie Angel and about how I never saw it in Laserdisc. Well, I actually did get a chance to watch it between then and now, and I really liked it. It's a very, very good B exploitation film. So I figured I was going to do myself a favor and track down the Angel collection on DVD. So what happened, what I found out was that Image got their hands on it, and they did a version of it, but unfortunately it's all 3 films crammed onto one DVD, so that's not going to float in my book. Well, here's where I got lucky. Got the Angel collection. This is the 3-disc edition, Anchor Bay. This is the rare one that I was talking about. This usually sells for anywhere between like $25, $50, depending on condition. Where I got lucky was that I logged in on eBay at the right time, and somebody actually had this as a $10 buy it now. I said, you know what? And it had pictures and everything. It wasn't one of those I was going to take a risk. He actually had pictures up of the discs and everything listed in good condition. I figured it's a $10 gamble. Why not? Got it in the mail today. All the discs were pretty much flawless, maybe save for one tiny scratch or two. But as much as I can surmise, the guy who was selling this thing, he had no idea that the version that he had was the more sought-after one. And I think he just listed it like the other one. The other one sells for $10, and he listed this one for the $10 price. I figure, hey, I might as well jump on it, get like a $30 to $50 set for $10. So glad to have that one. Going to watch the other 2 as soon as I get the chance. Coming up near the end here, ended up going to Best Buy, picked up, finally got this one, Escape from New York. Now, you know, not going to talk about the movie. Great film. You know, I've talked about it enough over my last couple videos. The thing with this one is a lot of people, you know, there's some controversy surrounding the transfer on this one, saying that the picture was overly brightened. You know, there's a lot of macro blocking, a lot of that kind of stuff. You know what? I only watch my stuff on a 46-inch screen, and as far as I can tell, I like how Escape from New York looked. I thought it replicated the experience perfectly fine. Now, I've never seen the original Blu-ray that came out, but as far as I can tell, for the money I spent, I'm very happy that I got this, and I'm not going to be tracking down that other Blu-ray. Now, say for the case of Mad Max, where Scream Factory did a version of that, the MGMD Blu-ray is infinitely better than that one because you can see where they used a little extra edge enhancement to try to clean it up, a little extra DNR, and that did hurt the image integrity. So MGM wins for Mad Max, but I'm going to slightly edge out Scream Factory for the Escape from New York disc. So next one up, this is my last Best Buy one. Picked up this triple feature. I got Logan's Run, Omega Man, and Soylent Green. It was on sale for $12 for, so like $4.33 a movie after tax. Figured I'd pick that one up. Soylent Green and Logan's Run I've seen. I've actually never seen the Omega Man, so hopefully I'm in for a treat. Now, speaking of Scream Factory, ended up getting my early release of Shocker. Always liked this movie, one of Wes Craven's most underrated films, next to People Under the Stairs. Got that one in early. Actually got the poster in too, so they haven't checked it out yet, but I will hopefully soon. Got to wait for my wife to get some time off because she wants to watch it too. And last but not least, my last half-price books pickup, my last DVD pickup, we got Grandma's Boy. Owned this one a few times before, but I always ended up seeming to get rid of it. Bought it at a half price for $2. I actually love this movie. The thing with me with comedies is I get burnt out on comedies very easily. Then I never want to watch them again, and then a year goes by, and then I want to watch it again. So this time I'm going to actually keep it. You know, I don't want to get rid of it. Funny movie. At my job, me and all my coworkers, we quote this movie until the end of time. We think it's one of the funniest movies made. So, you know what? Say what you will. There's a lot of people that don't like it. I fall in the camp of people that do like it. So, anyway, good talking to you guys. Glad I got it all taken. Glad you got to see everything that I got in the last couple weeks. Got one more package from Luis Munoz coming in. This is a very small package, though. It's only got like maybe 6 or 7 movies in it. So hopefully I can get a couple more pickups for some Laserdisc Forever members. Hopefully a few more things from eBay. And hopefully Half Price Books will get some stock in. So until next time, take it easy and keep it spinning. Talk to you later.